I believe that if we are honest with ourselves, that the most fascinating problem in the world is who am I? What do you mean? What do you feel when you say the word I myself?
I want to fly the train! I don't give a fuck! Oh, jeez. Hey, what's going on?
¿Qué piensas en esta forma? Então não fica minha só que eu tenho que ver.
Oh, jeez. Hey, what's going on? I don't give a fuck! Oh, jeez. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, you can't get out of this! Oh, yeah! Oh, jeez. Stop joining your friends, you weirdo!
I think that I am familiar with the fact that you are going to ignore this particular problem until it swings up and bites you on the ass.
Psych, just kidding. My new catchphrase is, I don't give a fuck!
It's asking a lot to believe that the problem is going to fix itself.
Guess what, bitch?
Our technology and our numbers have both reached a state where inadvertently we can pose a danger to the global environment, especially through the atmosphere.
The whales have a 15-foot penis. Are you a pervert or something? Okay.
Now, nobody pretends we understand everything about the global climate.
I didn't cut out. You heard me. Google it yourself.
There are feedbacks, some of which you warm the Earth a little bit, and the tendency will be to further increase the temperature, so-called positive feedback.
What I'm saying is the planet's on fucking fire.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
I don't give a fuck!
Fucking hear me. I was muted. Fuck me. let's try this again. What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? I'm the Godless Engineer, and I critically analyze apologist claims to give you the best arguments and information so that you can stand up and use your voice. What? People are shit talking on Twitter. Oh. Yes. Anyways, so tonight we are going to be taking a look at a guy on PragerU that was on there about 7 years ago, but still, he was trying to prove that God definitely exists. He's got 4 reasons as to why he thinks God definitely does exist. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of response videos to this bullshit out there on YouTube, but it's been in my list for a while to get to, and the Skeptic Mafia this week just so happened to pick it. So, we're going to be taking a look at that tonight, and of course, Who's Your Buddy has a super chat saying, if we don't have technical difficulties, is it even a GE stream? Hell no, it's not. Technical difficulties with GE. People want to know what I'm drinking. Tonight, it's just a very simple Jack and Coke. Diet Coke. Jack and Diet Coke. Dave McNeil just sent a super chat for the hell of it. Jonathan Hanachek says technical problems with GE, sponsored by Mr. Hanachek. Dang! And I've also got the desktop audio on now, so I definitely should have double checked all of my settings, but obviously technical difficulties. There's never a time without technical difficulties. So anyways, we're about to head into the show, but we got to run this intro first, so I'll see you back in 1 second. Hit the wrong fucking button, but that's okay, because technical problems with GE, guys. Anyways. Yeah, what? She says that she doesn't know she can trust me with a jigsaw. I can definitely run the jiggy-sawy, honey. Okay? I know it's called a jigsaw. I was just playing. That's a little fun thing that we do. Yeah, we got it at the Home Depot. Anyways, Quentin Van Booven says, send in my weekly tithe. Hopefully KC blows her load. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Nope, it's coming. It's there. Yep, you blew your load. All right. So just to let you guys know, we did run the everybody's blowing your load tonight, honey. Damn. If everybody doesn't know, I accidentally fucked up this week, and I initially posted the fundraiser poll for public at first, but then I quickly corrected myself and I made it private for mafiosos and above, and they were able to vote. Oh, they're not? Oh, wait, I think they're probably coming through on the stream. They just didn't come through for you. Oh, wait, no, sorry. Right. I think I just fixed it. I mean, I can put stop. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess I can get to it. I'm getting to it. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I can.
Woo! Bear
What
money.
are you doing? Oh, wait, there's another one that just went.
Hey, y'all know what? Anytime is a good time for a beer.
Well, honey, you wanted me to play it, so I'm trying to play it.
I blew my load.
Hey, y'all know what?
There you go.
Anytime is a good time for a
All
beer.
right, I played it. Anyways, charity poll. So the mafiosos voted. If you don't know, I will on occasion put up polls, especially for the Friday videos. The Skeptic Mafia is who you can blame tonight for the video that we're going to be watching. But they're also responsible for the charity that we're going to be donating to this month. And that charity is Turning Point Autism Foundation. That's the one that won out. The second one was the Trevor Project. So we're going to be donating to Turning Point Autism, the Turning Point Autism Foundation this month. If you guys don't know, any proceeds that we make here from the channel, whether that's super chats, memberships, or just you watching the videos here on Godless Engineer, we donate a portion of that to a charity. And we've got a nice list of charities that we're working through. Now, a caveat here that we didn't mention last time is that we've got to be able to verify the charity on Charity Navigator. And it's just an independent review that we have to do of the charity, so that you guys know that you're getting.
I blew my load.
So that you guys know that your money is going to a really good charity. So that's what we're doing this month, is Turning Point Autism Foundation. So thank the Skeptic Mafia for putting all of our money in that, or not all of it, a portion of our money in that direction. Jonathan Hanachek said epic fail. Elizabeth Richardson says check 1 2. $2. Cadence said $2 sound check. Kevin Beeler just sent a $10 #1 fan sticker. Elizabeth Richardson said, would you like to just start over and start fresh? Yes, I would. That would actually be super helpful right now, but I don't think I'm going to get that kind of luxury. We did have a couple new members before the stream started. That would be Rogue Albatross and Harry7. I don't want to know what's hairy about your 7, but I'm so glad that you're part of the Skeptic Mafia. Tonight we've got a full load for KC to blow, I guess. And we have Today I Learned, we've got shitty ass science, we've got a video to review, and we got Skeptic Mafia comments. So we need to hurry up and get into this shit. Do you know what's first? That I'm not gonna fuck up? It is shitty or not. Today I learned. Today I learned. People know my set better than I fucking do. Anyways. All right. So first up on Today I Learned that the common antibiotic effective in healing coral disease lesions, that a common antibiotic is effective in healing coral disease lesions. New branch study shows that 95% success rate with amoxicillin, a common antibiotic used to treat bacterial infections in humans, which is showing promise in treating disease-affected Monstera cavernosa coral colonies in situ, I guess. That was hard for me to get through. All right, I have trouble pronouncing shit in the first place. Yeah. We can heal the coral reef with amoxicillin. That's right. It would have been easier to say that in the title of this thing, but they went with kind of a fucky way to write it. So yeah, it was a little hard for me to read. Anyways, if y'all don't know, the coral reefs are under attack by climate change. Climate change is, well, I mean, it's not primarily because of humans, but it's definitely exacerbated. Like human activity is definitely the main thing that's exacerbating the climate change. So it's a pretty serious situation. Yes, we did have Earth Day this week. That's right, honey. You know, I figured that's what it meant, but I was not going to try to, like, bumblefuck my way around explaining that. So thank you, Vadim, for letting us know what that meant. I figured if I just went along and I acted like I knew what it meant, nobody would point it out, but I guess I was wrong. Anyways, next on Today I learned about token suckers. Yeah, this is going to really gross you out, honey, as it should anybody else. All right? Back when the New York City subway system used tokens, people called token suckers would jam token slots with paper and then suck out the tokens with their mouth. To prevent this, some attendants would sprinkle chili powder on the slots. That's fucking disgusting. I mean, I've only been in a New York City subway once, but I would definitely not suck shit out of any kind of fucking thing in the subway system. They definitely need some amoxicillin, penicillin, whatever in the fuck else the doctor has. Just run a full course of antibiotics in that motherfucker. Hook them up to a goddamn IV, because I'm fairly certain they have every single disease on earth that you can catch orally. Damn. All right, y'all ready for the final Today I Learned? This is really going to hit home for us there, honey. Because we're in the South. The South is completely racist. What? Not 100%, but you know, we're lagging behind, okay?
For a beer.
Jonathan Hanachek beard me. On this day, which was like sometime this week, on this day in 2007, a Georgia high school held its first integrated prom. But white parents still held a private, white-only prom, and some barred their children from attending the integrated prom, or as everybody now likes to call it, just fucking prom.
2007?
2007.
Oh, God.
In fucking Georgia. That's Surris's backyard. Quite literally. And Ocean's backyard. Sophane and Fat Pat, my dad. He's fucking Democrat as fuck too, so I'm pretty sure if he knew about this, he'd just be fucking...
Well, so here's what's super fucky is this happened in 2007 in Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia just voted blue. Alabama isn't anywhere close to that. I mean, I didn't go to school here. Was your prom integrated?
I had a normal prom, yeah.
I can't believe we're having this conversation right now. Hey, my prom was well before 2007. So but I mean, I'm from Ohio, so we're fine with black people in Ohio.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, for the most part.
I mean, as far as I can recall, rednecks exist everywhere.
Rednecks do exist everywhere, but in the town I'm from, it was legit a stop on the Underground Railroad. Our little downtown strip, it was really tiny. We've got the historical buildings. That whole section is the historical buildings, and you can go and actually see all of the like places you could go in that they hide in walls and in the floor and shit, to where they would hide people to help them get out of slavery.
You know, my fat ass wouldn't have fit in those spaces. I can guarantee you that. Be like, I'm sorry there, guy, but you just ain't fitting on this Underground Railroad here. You're going to have to run your ass beside the train.
Wow.
Anyways, Elizabeth Richardson in the chat said, didn't Georgia just pass all those fucked up voting laws? Yes, they did. And that's because of the Republicans in the higher positions of power that have been voted in by other Republicans, obviously. And they are the ones that want to restrict voting because, as we've all seen in that clip that exists, and everybody knows what the one that I'm talking about, all of the Republicans, it seems, their main goal is to restrict voting rights. Because if you restrict voting rights, it's still the rich white Republicans that can vote. It's just that the lower class and people of color that can't vote, they can't make it to it. That's why they don't want to make vote like the day that you go vote like a holiday, so that everybody can actually go vote and nobody has to give up their right to vote so that they can work.
I agree with this.
Yeah.
Give up Columbus Day.
Fuck
and have
Columbus.
Election Day.
Yeah. I think this year for Columbus Day, I'm going to be reviewing that Steven Crowder video where he defends Christopher Columbus. He is a dick. He's a dipshit, and he was horrible in that video. Not as horrible as Christopher Columbus. He was pretty bad, but I'm just saying that he was a total dipshit in that. But this right here is just so fucking ridiculous. Anybody that actually is on Reddit, if you're not subscribed to the R Not the Onion, you need to go and do it now, because they have the most ridiculous things in there that you would swear is like, oh, this has got to be an Onion post. No, it's not. These are real fucking posts. Oh, it's crazy. Anyways, so that's it for all of the facts that we have. But do you know what we got next? Comments! Comments of the day! Prepare to facepalm yourself in the next week! I went high on that one. Fuck. All right. Not too many bad ones this week. We do, like, some of the worst ones that I had on the channel and on Twitter. I'm saving for something else. But they were either long or I'm saving for a future video. But this one, Zambezi Kid, who says, you are clearly drunk from 1 hour, 15 minutes. And this was on not last week's live show, but the last week, 2 weeks ago, right? And I can guarantee you I was not drunk, okay? I actually have a video on my channel where I am clearly 3 sheets into the wind. And I've been debating on whether or not I want to put it up. Maybe I should let the Skeptic Mafia decide. I don't know if Uhan is here watching, but he knows the one that I'm talking about, where I talk about how you can use the Bible to potty train your cat. But I think I'll put that to the vote this next coming week for the Skeptic Mafia, whether or not I should put that up for you guys. So be looking out for that poll that I promise I won't make public. All right, next on the comments, we have this guy, Luke Simpezi Patrium T, whatever. On my call with Vice Rhino, myself, and a fake theist, he thinks that I handled this call badly. The reason why I wanted to bring this up is just like anybody that's out there commenting on videos. If you think somebody has done a bad job in a conversation, or you think somebody has gotten something wrong, please, for the love of fucking Christ, add some context here. And that's what I told this guy here. It's like, do you care to elaborate? Would you please tell me what exactly did I handle bad on this call? Because I can either learn from it, or I can just disregard you because you're being a pedantic little shit. Either way, I feel that we could both grow from that experience. Me getting better and you knowing that you're a pedantic little shit. Either way, we both come out better for it, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're commenting on videos. If you have something like this, be sure to just elaborate a little bit. Yes, that's another good point there, Casey. Handling live calls is very hard. And sometimes during a live call, you can fall down the rabbit hole a little ways. You'll probably miss some things that you could have talked about, but usually you have to follow the conversation wherever the white rabbit leads. So, I mean, that's all that we were doing. And I think that we did a fine job with that guy. He was crazy as shit. Ralph J. Bader, he says, how come atheists never turn the tables on the theists? If God is so knowledgeable and so powerful, why did he have to create a universe with thousands of lifeless planets just to get one that could support human life? You know, that's a pretty good point there. I wonder, is this the first time this has ever been brought up? Because he seems to think atheists never bring this up in response to Christianity or Christians or apologists or Muslims or anything like that. Apparently, this is the first time this has ever been fucking said. Thank you for your interest in Godless Engineer, Ralph J. Bader. What is it? See you next Tuesday? Or see you next time. See you next time. I don't know if anybody gets that, but if you spell it out with abbreviating C and U, you get cunt. Just to put it out there. See you next time, everybody. Everybody's thinking about it. Oh, fuck, really? I'm just going to start saying that anytime I want to tell someone to fuck off. And then finally is Bo Smith. Bo does not like cursing or talking about shit or anything that is a bit R-rated, I guess. Because Bo Smith says, I set up a chat about profanity under my video to Matt Dillahunty. If you're unable to discuss and defend it, then stop putting it on YouTube. Yep, they did. Stop putting it on YouTube.
Donating this much money only secures your seat in hell.
You know, I love the arrogance of this person, because they're like, obviously, if I don't like it, then it shouldn't be publicly available to everybody, because everybody has to meet my standard of what should be in a YouTube video. Well, Bo Smith, I hope that you're listening, because you can fuck off with this shit, okay? This is my fucking channel. If I want to curse, goddammit, I will fucking curse. I will curse God's name. I will use his fucking name in fucking vain. God damn it. There you go. Now Bo Smith is gone, and we can have a good time here. Jestray, Lord of Fools, says, I, for one, don't think I could have kept calm for that long in that circle jerk argument. It's definitely difficult, and luckily I wasn't 3 sheets into the wind, because I would have told that motherfucker what I thought. But also, Casey can vouch for this. This Jack and Coke right here, this will not get me drunk. I'll get buzzed for sure. To get me drunk, I need at least 2 of these and a beer. That's the Scottish in me. I feel like that's the Scottish in me. I'm probably bullshitting about that, but I feel like that's the right call. That's all the comments that we have for tonight. But you do know what we got next? We definitely got some shitty ass science. Shitty ass science. We're gonna answer some science shit really wrong. What's up, motherfuckers? How y'all doing? I hope you guys are getting down on your knees and sucking that Jesus dick. Bo Smith is obviously working his head off for it. So what we're going to be going through today is we're going to be learning about cryptocurrency and why this is Bitcoin. Because this person asked, is this the Bitcoin thing y'all been going crazy about? Yes, it is. Well, that's what happens, honey. You got to mine for the Bitcoin, right? Now, what Bitcoin mining is you got to take a pickaxe, right? And you go out to a rock and you just chip away at it, right? Now, this takes a long time, so it's kind of like working on a chain gang. I wouldn't know myself because I'm a good Christian person. I don't go to jail. But that's where it all started, was the chain gang. You go, and then all of a sudden, boop, you get a Bitcoin out of the rock, okay? Now, how it gets turned into cryptocurrency is when you mine the Bitcoin, it pops out and you see it. It's kind of like on the Mario games. You know how when you hit the blocks and you got a Bitcoin that pops out of it and then it goes, and it just disappears? Well, that's what happens. It disappears into ones and zeros, and then it rushes into your Bitcoin wallet, right? It's like an application you get on one of these majiggers, and it just goes in there, and then boom, you've got a $61 million Bitcoin, because that's how much they cost right now. It's about $61 million, and that's why if you mine for them, you'll have to mine a whole long time in order to get a Bitcoin out of that shit. Okay, now you see, I should have taken up Bitcoin mining a while ago, because I'm fairly certain there's a few Bitcoins hiding in them hills here around in Huntsville. All right, now I'm not gonna say that y'all should go out there Bitcoin mining, but just, you know, if when it disappears after you mine it, just be considerate that, you know,
it's going to disappear into the ones and zeros, and then it'll get into your phone. And that's how you have $61 million in Bitcoins. Well, Bitcoin, that's just the one. It's either that or it's just some homeless guy that's chewing on pennies or something. You know, there's an actual, like, disorder where you, like, eat pennies and shit. Yeah, just random. I think it's more or less like random objects. Yeah, there's one person that got taken to the emergency room and he had been eating nails all day or some shit. People will eat weird shit. You got New Yorkers that are sucking Bitcoins out of the turntables at the fucking New York subways. And then, you know, here in Alabama, we just mine for them the old fashioned way. We don't get down on our knees and start sucking for it. Whew. Anyways, I hope you guys will be safe and Bitcoin mine appropriately. Don't try to suck them out of the turnstile tables or whatever. And I guess I will talk to you next time. Thank you guys for coming to my TED Talk. How do I fucking work this shit? Hold on. Oh, there we go. Woo! All right. So no, this is not Bitcoin. It looks like it's just a chewed up 1981 penny that's probably worth a penny. Maybe less. I don't know. Yeah, there is some copper missing. I don't know if this would actually be legal currency. Does Josephus have a wife? Does it look like he has one? Do you really think somebody would marry that? Yeah, you know what? Being in Alabama, somebody would definitely marry that fuck. No, he doesn't have a wife. He lives alone in our closet. Yes, the new house definitely has a big closet for Josephus and all of his fucking ego. Anyways, that's gonna be it for the pre-show tonight, I guess. You know, that we're done with the shitty ass science right here. And I guess we'll just go right on into the video. All right, here's the video for tonight. Oh, Daniel M says, David says good night. We're in Branson. Oh, hey there, David. Up. Damn, David. Daniel gave me some beer money. Well, all I've got's Jack and Coke right now because I drank all the beer this week. But I appreciate that there, Daniel. Thank you. All right. So what we have tonight is a guest speaker on the PragerU channel. He is going to be attempting to prove that God definitely does exist. He was at one time, apparently, an atheist, just like all of them. And because he's a Christian, or at least a theist now, he's obviously had to write a book. So he's got that. And now he's going to tell us what convinced him that God definitely does exist. He doesn't argue for a specific God. He just keeps it to pretty much a deistic type of God, like just a general idea of what a God is. Just the general idea that a God does exist, at least the monotheistic God. So he is getting a little specific there. Kind of itch. All right, so let's head on into this shit, shall we? Hopefully it actually plays. Hold on.
You know, for 27 years, I was an atheist. I thought anyone who believed in a God or gods was, well, stupid or uneducated, naive, gullible, or just into the gig for money, sex, and power. I mean, after all, everyone...
Hold on. So, I mean, I can understand why some newer atheists might consider theists to be like the dumb, ignorant, maybe ignorant, but the dumb, uneducated type of people. But, you know, once you get out of your angry atheist kind of mindset, generally you move into more of an acceptance of, oh, I was gullible and I was, you know, tricked by all of these so-called facts at one time. And so, I mean, I wasn't dumb, or maybe you did consider yourself dumb. Hell, I don't know. I just know from my own experience, I know that I wasn't dumb growing up. I just had never considered the proposition. So I guess I would fall in the ignorant camp. But that's no reason to come at it with such animosity just because somebody's ignorant of something doesn't mean that you have to treat them like shit, you know? And I mean, initially when I became an atheist, I was a pretty angry atheist. But you know, you grow out of that shit, right? At least I hope people do. But the money and the sex, I'm sorry, I don't understand. Like for the most part, when somebody becomes a Christian, technically you're supposed to donate your money to the church. And I don't understand why you think that becoming a Christian would get you more money if you have to tithe 10% a year. If you work the math on that with an abacus or any other kind of calculator you want to, that results in less money for you. Now, of course, if you want to go this guy's route and write a book about it and, you know, and actually, you know, turn it into a career, yeah, sure, you're looking at some money. But that's not the general Christian experience. The general Christian experience isn't believe in Jesus and get money, you know, kind of thing. And then there's the sex. Does anybody join Christianity to get laid? I don't know anybody that has been like, you know what? I bet you if I started sucking Jesus' dick, I'd get laid once in a while. Like I've never considered the whole idea of becoming a Christian so that you could get laid. Like that just doesn't track. And then power, again, general Christian out there doesn't become a Christian for power. I mean, that might be something that happens in the future, like if they are power hungry, but I would say that anybody that becomes a Christian so that they can gain power over other people is not really a Christian at that point. Like, they didn't actually join Christianity. They don't actually think that, you know, Christ is their savior. They play it up. And I mean, maybe that's just a no true Scotsman that this guy's playing at. That like these people that get into these big power positions as Christians are not really Christians or something. So I don't know. This kind of throws me off.
After all, everyone knows that religion is just a psychological crutch for intellectual weaklings, right? So.
No, I mean, I don't think that. I mean, I think that some people use religion as a crutch. I think some people use God as a crutch, but I don't think that means that religion inherently is a crutch. I think that it can be a crutch for some people. I kind of feel like if this guy ever was actually an atheist, he was one of those asshole atheists that I generally don't want to actually like associate with. Like, I feel like this guy would have been the asshole that everybody else just doesn't want them to say that they're an atheist because they're embarrassing. This guy was basically David Silverman.
My mind. Well, look, I tell the whole story in my book, Shattered, but for our purposes here on Prager University, I was simply challenged by my Christian teammates on the Cincinnati Reds to read some religious books, critique them, and then share with the guys where the authors were wrong and why atheism is the only real and true outlook for anyone not deceived by fantasy, fiction, or mythology. I mean, for someone who wants to base their beliefs and values upon evidence and argument, not emotion and tradition. Now look, simply put, I set out to disprove theism, which I didn't think would take very long. But I ran into some difficulties along the way. Difficulties like Aristotle, Augustine, Aquinas.
Okay, I don't understand why those things are difficult. I certainly don't understand why he had to set out and disprove theism exactly. That's why I titled this as a theist arguing for God, because I don't know if he's Christian or not. I would assume that he's Christian, considering he's speaking English, you know, the United States dialect of English. He's a white middle-aged guy, or maybe not so, maybe the later stage of middle-aged in America. I would assume that he became a Christian, but regardless, he's just talking about a general God, the general idea of theism, just a God that exists, right? I don't know why you have to frame it as I sought to disprove theism. Now, I don't think that even I can disprove theism. I think that I prove why you shouldn't necessarily believe that a God exists based on the evidence that we have, but that's far from disproving theism. I would say that I could definitely disprove that the Christian God exists, or I can disprove that Christ or Jesus was the Son of God and was the Christ. I could definitely disprove those ideas based on the evidence that we have. But as far as theism goes, I really don't think that anybody should hang whether or not they are a theist on whether or not you can prove that theism is true. I think that you should look at the hypothesis of a God existing. What are the arguments for it, and whether or not you should necessarily believe in that, considering the evidence that we have. But like I said, that's far from proving that it's false.
I mean, in simple terms, I was confronted with the awareness that there are really 4 big bangs that have to be accounted for, not just one. I had never really even considered that before. I mean, we're all
4 big bangs? The fuck is he talking about 4 big bangs?
I mean, we're all familiar with the first Big Bang, right? It's usually the answer given to the question, why is there something rather than nothing? It's the idea that there was nothing, it popped, and boom, there's something. I mean, that time, matter, and space all came into existence in some great cosmological flash about 16 billion years ago.
I believe the current number is 4. Let's see. How long ago did the Big Bang occur? 13.7 billion years ago. So you're a few billion years off, but I mean, that's a little pedantic. I get it. I mean, he's just throwing out a number. Either he misread it, or he misunderstood it, or maybe he just was like, a big number, 16 billion. Regardless, you know, that's a little pedantic, but I do want to bring up something real quick. It should have just slid instead of done that, but so basically this is what the guy is actually, you know, doing.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
So yeah, I mean, that's not exact. I mean, I feel like that's what he's getting. He didn't exactly say that, but anyways, we're gonna let him continue. Let me actually respond to one thing.
What? Anytime is a good time for a beer.
Fuck yeah, Sinister Porpoise. Anytime is a good time for a beer. Also, Sinister Porpoise said, if I don't play God, who will? Fuck, I don't know. Casey said she'll take over as God. I'd love to live in that universe. So the whole idea that the hypothesis says that the universe came out of nothing. When apologists talk about nothing, they mean something entirely different from the scientific nothing that actually exists. The nothing that they're talking about is absolutely nothing, like devoid of all energy and everything like that.
Beer money.
Fuck yeah, Dave, giving me beer money. Dave also said that was the banginest Big Bang. Oh, banginest. Sorry. But in any case, the scientific nothing that actually exists still has an electrical charge in it. So the idea that a universe could inflate from what seems to be nothing is very plausible and probable. And so just understand, whenever you hear an apologist say that the Big Bang theory is that the universe popped into existence out of nothing, you have to be very specific about what that nothing is, because that nothing is totally different to an apologist. But also, I would correct them and say that it was an inflation, not necessarily a bang. That's just how it was initially characterized. But it was really an inflation, a near instantaneous inflation. So I guess just keep those things in mind.
There was no gradual development, no transitional forms, just a binary flip, a metaphysical, now you don't see it and now you do.
All right, see, now this is fundamentally flawed because he kind of makes it out to be like, it's a very creationist kind of inflation of the universe. He doesn't really go into the specifics about the inflation of the universe. What he thinks happened is that the universe inflated, right? Completely put together as we know it to exist now. And it just inflated from that point.
Donating this much money only secures your seat in hell.
Dave Lee's going to hell for saying, was God knocking up Virgin Mary the second Big Bang? Guess we'll find out there. Mary would probably say it wasn't that big. That works on multiple levels too. But anyways, like I said, he's got, hold on. I Heart Dog says, I love your podcasts. Thank you there, I Heart Dogs. I heart dogs too, a lot. My son loves dogs so much he's got a shirt that says that he likes dogs more than people. But there's this concept right here is a very creationist view, because the difference between what actually happened, like as far as the universe just inflating and stopping right there, just the universe inflating, and then God popping things into existence through an incantation, is that one has a magical wizard doing it while the other one just has nature doing it. And I would hope that people would come to the conclusion that nature is most likely the culprit, not some pre-existent magical wizard that spoke an incantation in order to pop everything into existence.
Woo! That's KC's money.
But Quentin Van Boeven wants this to be put towards the alcohol fund. I'll pick up some more beer tomorrow, and I'll give KC the $2. Put it towards house shit. Yeah. We've been doing mortgage calculations today, and whew, boy, we're gonna need to pump up all the numbers here. Gotta get them numbers up here on the channel. No, it's okay, really. But in any case, what he's not telling you here about the universe inflating near instantaneously is that it didn't all come together at once. He thinks they did because of his creationist point of view. But what he's not considering here is that when the universe inflated and filled with inflaton particles, and then the inflaton particles transformed into what would eventually become the matter that we have today, you have to understand that once that happened, the universe was too hot and too dense for even atoms to form, right? It wasn't until much, much later, like hundreds of thousands of years later, as we would experience them at least, hundreds of thousands of years later, would atoms start forming and light would start traversing through the universe. It took a long, long time in order to get to where we're at today. 13.7 billion years to be exact, at least according to Google. Which is, if anybody's questioning that, just Google that shit. But what he's not considering here is that it was a long development process. There was a long time where just nothing was happening. No Earth existed. No life existed. For the majority of the time the universe has been around, life has not been in the universe as far as we know. Right? Maybe there's some alien life out there that, had a jump on things and started off like when the first planets were forming or some shit like that. Maybe. I don't know. But as far as we know, no other life existed in the universe for most of the 13.7 billion years that it's been around. So I don't know what he means by it just immediately happened like a light switch.
Fine, I want to follow the evidence wherever it leads. However, astrophysicists tell us that this first Big Bang yielded only a handful of fundamental elements, and that it would take billions and billions of years for the nuclear furnaces of trillions of stars to yield the 118 elements in the periodic table.
Yeah, see, this is the one thing that KC and I were somewhat discussing in the car as we were listening to this bullshit. Because, honey, he did just say that all 118 elements are produced in stars. 118. Including the 2 rows that are man-made elements. Well, yeah, he did say that. And it's a bit pedantic to point out that he's wrong about that because the bottom 2 rows are man-made elements. So not all of them, but we understand what he means. I also don't understand, though, why he thinks this is ridiculous. Like, why are you pointing, like, let me just tell y'all what science says real quick. It took a long time for all of the stars to produce the heavier elements. Can you believe that shit? And he's not explaining, like, how that happens. He doesn't understand how in stars nuclear fusion is happening and that, you know, hydrogen and helium atoms are being compressed together. Helium and helium atoms are being compressed together, and then they give off light. Like, they give off photons once they fuse, and that's what creates light in the universe. And then they start making the heavier and heavier elements. And so, I mean, this is just science.
Listen, donating this much money only secures your seat in hell.
Rob Montgomery's going to fucking hell. Rob says Optimus Ribeye had defeated Inflatron to become Optimus Prime. Holy shit! Optimus Ribeye. I wonder if that's actually I don't know the full history of the Transformers, so that might be right or wrong.
Hey, y'all know what? Any time is a good time for a beer.
Zachary said, "Here's just for another beer for you, John." Oh, sweet, there's Zach. I appreciate that. Yeah, but I do agree, and this is a point that we came to in our conversation. I do agree that it's a bit pedantic to be like, not all 118 because some of them are man-made. Well, yeah, they're man-made. So I mean, huh? Yeah. So, I mean, it is a bit pedantic to point it out because he might just be ignorant. He's obviously ignorant of basic science, which I don't know what in the fuck he researched in order to come to this conclusion that God definitely exists, but it definitely wasn't picking up a fucking science textbook because you can find all of this shit in just a basic high school science textbook. Okay? So, I mean, this guy just simply doesn't know his science, like, at all. I would hope that you would, if you were investigating whether or not a God exists, and you were looking into the Big Bang Theory, you would actually know the scientific explanations for, like, heavier elements and how stars create the heavier elements, why it takes so much time. Like, all of this falls right in line with the Big Bang Theory and how much time it gives us. So I don't understand the point in bringing this up.
But the first theoretical cosmological Big Bang, well, it only yields matter and energy. It doesn't even begin to address the origin of life. So, how do you get life from non-life?
Oh, no, not this. Please, no. What's not on the periodic table? The Q element? That's right, there's no Q element. You know what's also not on there? Dumbasses. Like this guy.
Genesis occur. I mean, the notion that something can come from nothing. Where's the evidence?
I guess I'm having to stop every few seconds here, and I'm so sorry about that, everyone. So, no, abiogenesis is not life from nothing. All right, if you want life from nothing, like, not even creationists believe in life from nothing, because even then God had to spit on some dirt in order to form Adam, and he made Eve out of Adam's rib after he slipped him a roofie and then extracted his rib. Maybe, yeah, I mean, I guess so. I mean, he made the entire universe out of nothing, I guess. But still, abiogenesis is the hypothesis that life originated from pre-existing non-organic chemicals. Without looking up the technical definition, that's the best way I can describe abiogenesis. So it's not life from nothing, it's from pre-existing chemicals. These chemicals we've been able to show in the lab with like somebody help me out, the more, let's see, the amino acid experiment. What was that? The Urey-Miller, sorry. Totally brain farted on that. Urey-Miller. The Urey-Miller experiment showed us that amino acids can be produced naturally without any kind of intervention, that they just naturally form when given the correct parameters, right? And then we have other experiments that show how these amino acids can self-organize, how molecules themselves can self-organize, and all this other stuff. So it's not life from nothing, it's life from pre-existing non-organic materials. It's organic from non-organic is what it is, not from nothing. Well, the Miller-Urey, I don't know if those were organic. I know the Miller-Urey was supposed to mimic the early, like what they suppose was the early condition of the Earth. So in any case, while we don't have the full picture of abiogenesis, sorry, I was thinking about the Urey-Miller. They may have been organic. The point of that experiment was to prove that amino acids can develop naturally without any kind of intervention. And I feel like that's what I said. If I said that they were inorganic chemicals, I went a little bit past what I know right now. But the whole point of the experiment was to prove that amino acids can definitely naturally form. That's the point of that. But regardless, it's definitely not from nothing.
Where's the evidence? Well, you're going to need another something from nothing leap of faith, some kind of biological second Big Bang. For all the mind-blowing advancements we've made in physics, biology, and chemistry in just the past 100 years, we're still no closer to making it happen. We don't have a clue. The closer we look, the wider the chasm. I mean,
No. Actually, the closer we look, the more like steps that we have in between the left side and the right side in this little picture here. Because what we definitely have stepping stones that would allow us to cross that gap. In fact, God lives in the smallest portions of those stepping stones. So I think that you're just not correct about this. You've obviously haven't read up on the most recent research. Even 7 years ago, this video doesn't represent the most recent research.
Learned a lot about how to manipulate life forms, how to add and subtract DNA material, even map the human genome. But we have no idea how to literally create life from dead stuff.
Wait, hold on. You're going back and forth here. Because at first you said life from nothing, and now you're saying life from dead stuff. You're totally equivocating things here. It's either life from dead things or non-living things, or it's life from nothing. You gotta make up your mind there, man. Also, it's not dead things. It's not like you can cobble together a Frankenstein creature and bring them back to life or something like that. At least, I hope not yet. That's the setup for a zombie movie. But life from non-life is definitely possible and probable. So I feel like he's just exposing how ignorant he is on it. Or what I think is going to be the most likely situation is that he's being purposefully dishonest or disingenuous. Because anybody that has researched any of these ideas would definitely know that it's not either life from nothing or life from dead things. Let's see, Eric Hamion said the second Big Bang, also known as not a Big Bang. That's true.
Look, at this point, we still only have physics, chemistry, and some basic biology, or matter, energy, and simple life, if you will. But we still don't have a way to account for the great diversity of life forms. I mean,
listen, donating this much money only secures your seat in hell. Thank you there, Gary and Lisa. Listen, donating this much money only secures your seat in hell. Gary says, I guess he took too many headshots from line drives. Lisa for Truth says, you expect a Yaks to use science younger than 50 years old? No, I don't. But also, I like how he's sitting here complaining about the diversity of life, but, you know, he's using Noah and the flood, one of the most unscientific things that you can think of. Also, can anybody tell me what's wrong with this picture? I doubt that you'd be able to tell. He's got 2 male lions boarding the fucking ark. How fucking dumb do you have to be over there at PragerU to do this shit? No, they're definitely going to be fucking each other in the ass, but they're not going to be producing any baby lions. Those are 2 male lions there. I didn't even notice this the first time I watched it. But I like how he says that there's no explanation for the diversity of life when we have evolution. By the way, evolution is a fact, and you can't get these t-shirts by going to btwevolutionisAfact.com. Just got to get that little bit of a thing in there. Jester, Lord of the Fools, says, rocks aren't dead, but the ones in this guy's head are pretty worn down. Also, how much for box seats? I don't know. Probably a pretty good amount. I don't do sports. I do Magic the Gathering. I have 3 unopened boxes of Magic the Gathering draft boosters. I shouldn't tell people that, honey. 2 of them are Strixhaven. Yeah, honey, we did talk about buying 2 of the same box, but I mean, well, it just kind of happened. It just happened to me. It happened to. It did. No. Listen, okay. The local game shops are really suffering after this whole pandemic thing, and I'm just trying to support them. Doing my part. She said that's the biggest load of bullshit. I just don't have a good excuse for buying 2. Brainbug, he supports gay lions. All right, let's continue with this and not talk about my obsession. Oh, wait, before we got to get Jane's super chat, though. Jane says, I feel like this guy is trying to make a genuine point. What are you doing?
I blew my load.
And trying to keep it simple for the novice viewer, but he went off track when he said dead things can create life. What is he, Jesus? Well, technically, he's saying that science says dead things can create life, but that's not what science says at all.
I mean, the huge differences between bacteria, plants, and animals. Nor do we have a way to account for the differences between man and animal. We still don't have an anthropology at this point.
We definitely can differentiate between men and other animals, which, oh, I feel like I know what he's talking about here. So he's like, we can't differentiate man, one animal, from the other animals. They're all animals. We accept that we're all animals? Is that what he's talking about here? You don't think that's what he's saying, honey? Maybe I'm being too charitable. You know, you told me that I need to be a bit more charitable in these things.
But I don't.
You don't think that's what he's saying? Yeah, we will have to listen to more, but I feel like he's saying that, well, science says we're an animal and they're animals, and we can't discern between two of the same thing. But in action, I mean, we are just animals. Let's listen to more of this dipshit.
But we're going to need a kind of anthropological third Big Bang to account for all this, which of course is what Darwin was after in his Descent of Man thesis.
The Descent of Man was not about anthropology. The Descent of Man was about evolution, is what the Descent of Man, like Darwin's hypothesis about evolution was about scientifically explaining the diversity of life. It wasn't about the anthropological history of human beings.
Now look, Darwin answered a lot of questions, but he could never answer the core question. How did evolution begin?
He doesn't have to answer how evolution began, you fucking twat! Well, it just pisses me off. He couldn't answer how it began. Evolution's a process. It doesn't matter at what point in time it began. It only matters that it's definitely happening. Darwin did not attempt to try to discern when it started, which technically would have been when life first appeared. As soon as life appeared, that's when evolution happened. But also, if you consider the other forms of evolution, evolution has always happened because evolution's a fucking process of nature. This guy I'm so glad I don't have like a fucking blood pressure monitor, because I'm sure I'm off the fucking charts. I can see them calling the cops right now. Listen, these motherfuckers over here, the guy just called his wife a twat, okay? I'm really getting tired of this fucking shit every single Friday goddamn night. Oh shit, Sean gave some beer money. Sean says, woo-saw. Yeah, I don't know, it really pisses me off. I mean, I'm not the smartest motherfucker when it comes to evolution, but at least I know my ass from a hole in the ground, which is obviously not what this guy knows.
Begin. But hey, we're still not done describing the world that is all around us. A final Big Bang is going to be required to explain how a mechanistic animal brain can become a self-reflective human mind.
Well, let me blow your mind there. I forget what your name is. We're still animals. We're part of the animal kingdom. We are animals. So you're asking us to discern one animal brain from another animal brain. We can definitely tell you the differences in biology. We can tell you how they operate differently. We can tell you how our instincts are different. And evolution definitely explains how ours developed, how theirs developed, how all of this shit developed, like all this shit being life, how all of it diversified and developed in things. All right? That's already explained. You're either being purposefully dishonest or disingenuous, or you're just so woefully ignorant of the topic that it seems like you didn't even investigate it. Like, you were like, oh, does God exist? And then boom, you got hit in the fucking face with goddamn Thomas Aquinas, and you're like, well, shit, I can't think of good responses to these. I guess God exists. Whew. Woo-saw, motherfucker.
The lowest life forms have brains and central nervous systems.
That's a false analogy there. I mean, to call the nucleus of like a single-celled organism the brain, I feel is that's not a great analogy there. A brain is a collection of cells that interact with each other in order to produce complex functions, whereas the chemistry of a single cell is much different than a brain. Characterizing it this way I feel like is really giving off the wrong impression. I don't know. Maybe some of the more microbiology centered people in the chat can correct me, but I feel like this is just a poor analogy. I feel like this is an analogy you would use to fifth graders when you're trying to teach them like what the nucleus is and shit.
How does something like that become the mind of a Michelangelo, a Shakespeare, a Beethoven?
Whew. Let's see. How do we go from single-celled organisms to humans? Probably evolution, motherfucker. Because evolution is a fact.
Do art and they don't appreciate.
Okay, I got to be honest with y'all. I'm going to go back a little bit here. Hold on.
Come on.
I so thought this was a squirrel smoking a cigarette. I mean, that's what it looked. I feel like it's like a squirrel that's just needed a break, and he's just like, motherfuckers got me in this video, and I feel like I'm about to slap a motherfucker.
Bear money.
Lisa for Truth says, to be fair, his brain is only a nucleus.
Bear money.
Neil, the 604 atheist, just gave some, just because, apparently. Well, thank you so much there, Neil. A portion of your super chat's going to help people with autism.
Come on, animals don't do art and they don't appreciate beauty.
I'm sorry. How do you know what in the fuck a cow is thinking? I mean, a cow could think something's beautiful. A monkey can definitely think that. A bear could think something's beautiful. You don't fucking know their lives. The cow is thinking about shitting in the woods.
That's KC's money.
Casey's money. Vanta Blue says, not a cig, a blunt. But, yeah, so, and also animals can definitely do art. I'm fairly certain that I've seen, other apes do art, as well as, what did you say the other day, hon? It was like elephants? Yeah, painting elephants. Like, he obviously just does not know a fucking thing about the shit that he's talking about. See, this is why both KC and I came to the conclusion that this guy is just disingenuous, right? Like, he's just totally dishonest in everything that he says. And PragerU still has this video up on their channel 7 years later.
It's even more basic than that. How do you account for free will and introspection, let alone man's pressing existential drive to ask why?
Okay, if I had to, shoot in the dark to explain that, I would say that it's because we're higher developed central nervous system. It's much more complex, so we are able to think complex things like, why am I here? What's the purpose? Why do I need to stroke God's nutsack in order to get rain? Like, I feel like these questions are perfectly explainable by the fact that we have a higher functioning brain. Y'all probably couldn't hear it, but Casey thinks that it doesn't take a higher functioning brain in order to stroke God's nutsack. Oh, to talk about stroking God's nutsack.
Well, we're going to need some kind of psychological fourth Big Bang to account for man's moral and aesthetic sense.
A fourth Big Bang. Now, just to, I think that he's probably going to reiterate what I'm about to explain to you. What he means by Big Bang here is just like what he meant by the initial Big Bang theory, right? It's that, like a light switch, these things just popped into existence. He thinks, and he'll tell you this here in a second, he literally thinks that a human's ability to reason and think popped into existence. He thinks that what was his fucking third one? I done forgot. diversity of life. That's a third one. He thinks that the diversity of life just poof into existence, which is actually a creationist idea. And then the second one was, fuck, you just said it, honey. Yeah. Abiogenesis, just pop. Like, he doesn't consider the processes behind any of these things. He thinks that they literally just popped. Yes. Yeah. Here, we'll play this again just to remind you of what he fucking thinks.
Smoke weed every day.
That's it. That's what he thinks. For every single Big Bang he has, he thinks, poof, it just happened.
In his search for meaning, significance, and purpose. And of course, his appreciation for the true, the good, and the beautiful. And again, you must understand these problems require bangs. I mean, sudden binary pops into existence, since there's no evidence for any gradual development in any of these. So I, like you, have a choice.
Yeah, so, I mean, this hurts so much. This is really stupid. Yes, honey, it is really stupid because there's all kinds of evidence for gradual development of all of these things. Like, the Big Bang obviously was an instantaneous inflation, but he's not really talking about the Big Bang. He's talking about the Big Bang plus the evolution of the universe in general. That's what he's talking about in the Big Bang, like the cosmological one, right? That's what he's talking about. So none of these are bangs, like big bangs. They're gradual developments, all of them, and we have evidence for the gradual development for every single one of these. Yeah. Oh, I agree, honey. KC said that she just wants to walk this guy into the Museum of Natural History. The Natural History Smithsonian. Almost a Doctor in the side chat there, which if you guys don't know, Almost a Doctor, you should go subscribe to him. He says it wasn't an instantaneous expansion. It is still going on. Well, yeah, true. Huh? Yes, that's exactly what KC said. I often forget to mention that the expansion is still going on. I just meant that the inflation of the universe was near instantaneous, not the expansion entirely. The expansion is still going on, definitely, just the near instantaneous inflation of the universe. But the expansion is still going on. So thank you for that correction, both of you. A butt plug has a better understanding of it. That's right there, Cernian.
It's either faith in these four big bangs of somethings from nothings to account for what we see all around us, or faith in some kind of creator God behind it all.
Well, see, this is a false dichotomy. And I've been seeing this more and more because they'll often present a false dichotomy between their position and a straw man position that they just fucking made up. Because everything that we've mentioned here tonight has evidence behind it. Everything has evidence of a gradual development of all of these things. All four of the things that he mentioned. There's evidence for gradual development. But he presents a straw man versus his position. And that is what makes him a shithead. The Gym Tanker says not one of these is new. Inmate 0645217 and his son Eric have been pushing this stuff for decades.
Woo! Bear money!
Lisa for Truth says, don't these idiots know a Christian came up with the BBT?
I blew my load.
The Gym Tanker blew Casey's load.
Woo! Bear money!
Quentin gave me some beer money. Quentin said, so to be clear, this guy believes God lit the magical fart on fire and that made everything, and yet we're the crazy ones. I know, right?
Next time someone asks you, hey, what about the Big Bang? Make sure you ask them which one? The cosmological, biological, anthropological, or psychological? I'm Frank Pastore for Prager University.
Greg Pastore? Something Pastore. Anyways, I do believe that this guy's passed away. He's a bit dead. Yes. Casey just said he could fuck off, and then I'm like, well, he's dead now. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, and I hate to admit this, but honey,
What?
he died in a motorcycle wreck.
Oh, see what happened? You should get rid of the motorcycle.
Casey's been on me about getting rid of the motorcycle, and I knew that this was gonna come up. Fuck. Oh man. Anyways, I ride my motorcycle pretty safe. I'll say that. Anyways, so that I hate being disrespectful to a guy like this after he's dead, but damn. Right. He's still influencing people with bad information, and I feel like that it's incumbent upon me in order to refute the dumbass shit that he has said. So I hate that he passed away or he died the way that he did, and but still, I mean, this was a pretty dumbass video. The Jim Tanker says $5 for your motorcycle fund. Jim's egging me on with the motorcycle. I ain't getting rid of it. Jim, you and Casey are gonna have a fight here soon. All right, well, that's going to be our show for tonight. We are going to be going through the Skeptic Mafia comments, so if you want to stick around and hear what the Skeptic Mafia has to say about this dipshit, then please, please stick around. But if you're going to be leaving out, I really appreciate you guys watching tonight, listening to me rant about this dumbass PragerU video, and I really hope that you guys got something good out of this, either entertainment or information, either one. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought about this dumb fucking video. If you liked it, let me know that too. But hey, regardless, if you made it this far, be sure to smash that like button.
Woo! That's KC's money.
KC got some money from Dave Cannabis. His theist brain has never had a big bang. It's still a singularity of a single brain cell. Rune Norderhog. I don't know if I said that correctly. At least it wasn't that guy. He was filming YouTube's videos while riding his motorcycle and looking at his
y'all
script.
know what? Anytime is a good time for a beer.
Shock of God.
Oh yeah.
Uhan Beard me saying, holy crap, I'm late. I lost track of time.
Listen, donating this much money only secures your seat in hell.
No, we can't. But anyways, yeah, Shock of God is probably not going to wreck anytime soon. But you know, I sincerely hope he doesn't wreck. I wish he'd stop filming videos or at least looking at scripts while he's riding his bike, because I'd really hate to hear on the news like, yes, we were just not getting word. Some dumbass on a motorcycle was ranting about atheists and answering his fucking dumb questions, and he ran into somebody and wrecked and died. Like, I really hope that doesn't come like on the news one day, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But anyways, if you're heading out right now, appreciate you guys, and I guess I will see you guys next week when I've got more videos that I'm going to record and put out, and I guess I'll see you for that dumb shit then. Anyways, y'all have a lovely weekend, and I will see you heathens later. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens. But wait, don't go, because we're going to be getting to the Skeptic Mafia comments. And we do have a good number of comments, not as many as it has been but we do have a pretty good amount. I don't know, honey, can you make sure that none got held up? Thank you. Let me get this set up real quick. Now, if you guys do want to join the Skeptic Mafia, it would really help us out here. Like I said before, a portion of the Skeptic Mafia membership fees, as well as the super chats here and any revenue that we make off this channel, are going to be going to a charity that we do every single month. A portion of all that is going to be going to charity. This month we chose Turning Point Autism Foundation to donate to. So we have a pretty good list of charities, but we're always eager to look at new charities if we can, independently validate them and their quality as a charity. We would really love to take suggestions on that. So, hold on. Oh shit, Uhan. Uhan gave a bigger amount. We need to see.
Woo! Bear money!
Fuck, Hellbound Hillbilly too. Damn. Let's see. So Uhan says, I don't know what to put here. Sorry for missing the mainstream. I suck today. Been slammed with work. I love you all. Take my money for charity. Hey, Uhan, don't worry about it, man. I mean, you can always watch it on the replay. It's cool. You're here. Daniel M says, you have to shill for me. I was busy. Okay. Hellbound Hillbilly says, here's the tips I made during the stream. Oh, well, thank you. All right, let's get to the Skeptic Mafia comments. Shit, that didn't work. Hold on.
Listen, donating this much money only secures your seat in hell.
That's right. It only secures your seat in hell. Uh-oh. Huh? Mm-hmm. Well, 3 technically. I'm waiting for Cadence to hit. There he goes. Thank you there, Cadence. Cadence says charity money for the month. Oh, thank you there, Cadence. Mew Mew Design says, hey, GE and KC, dang YouTube 3rd time this week. I'm told about a stream near the end of it. That sucks there, Mew Mew. Hellbound. Oh, I already did the Hellbound Hillbilly one. All right. Okay. I got it. All right, here we go. Skeptic Mafia comments. Chrismer just did a bruh. ASCII art saying, cuz bruh, you really need to lick that like button and subscribe, bruh. And maybe, bruh, you could just join the Skeptic Mafia, bruh, where you can make GE say stupid shit, bruh. Like, I am the very model of a modern major general, bruh. Yeah, definitely. You could join the Skeptic Mafia and make me say some silly shit within reason. Daniel M says, I didn't get to see the video. We are in Branson this weekend. I took David on his first go-kart ride. It was fun. Oh, that is awesome. I'm too much of a fat ass to ride go-karts, but I remember when I was lighter and I could ride a go-kart and it was fun as fuck. So I'm glad that he was able to do that. Quentin Van Boeven is next. He says, holy fuck. Not even 30 seconds in, and we have a book plug. I don't know whether Ken Ham would be proud or jealous. Seems we have a Kalam cosmological argument mixed with the God of the Gaps.
Any time is a good time for a beer.
Fuck yeah, Uhan beard me.
I thought we were getting new arguments, not rehashed ones. We all know this fool be indexing at one and be thinking it's the right thing. Now, make sure you're not a fool by hitting all the good buttons and possibly considering joining the Skeptic Mafia for some sweet perks, like a Skeptic Mafia podcast that posts almost every week. Truly, that's my fault because I put a lot on myself and I just got to get back on track, and sometimes just takes a little bit of treading water in order to get right back on track. So that's what I'm kind of doing. So yes, please join the Skeptic Mafia if you can. That's the best way to support the channel here. Hellbound Hillbilly says this whole video seems to at least have been inspired by the deep thoughts he had on that weekend away games that he spent rooming with Pete Rose and a key of the best coke he's ever seen, having a great time, and what might have been a religious experience or might have been a stroke, but whichever was probably caused by 4 days of being up for the game. Work is starting to get busy, so I guess I'll let GE shield for the Skeptic Mafia, and I'll remind everyone to wash your hands, wear your mask, and keep getting those shots. That's right, keep getting your vaccination shots. But also, you get cool-ass emojis in the side chat on premieres and live streams. You can even use them in the comment section. And these are emojis that you can only use here on the Godless Engineer channel. And we premiere all of our videos during the week, with the exception of a few, maybe on Thursdays or Fridays. All the other ones, though, they get premiered. Thank you, Hellbound, for your comment there. Next, we got Vanta Blue, who says, I didn't vote for this one, and I want to slap everyone who did. My brain hurts. This guy is just so totally wrong on everything that replying to each and every part that just I know would take 2 streams. So I'll just cherry pick one thing. There are animals that create art for art's sake, and there are animals that appreciate beauty and art for its own sake. Sort of related to that, there is research that suggests that conscious stems from brain capacity needed to detect details with the help of seeing colors, a gradual change. Exactly. Thank you there, Vanta. Michael W. Roble says, the reason Frank became a Christian was too many line drives to the head. Damn. Actually, I think he may have lied to us, since he became born again after he suffered a severe injury to his elbow on his pitching arm from a hard-hit line drive during a game. He converted during his long recovery and was never able to pitch winning baseball again. He might have been a prophet, though. In 2012, he was talking about death on his Texas radio show and commented how, since he rode a motorcycle daily, that someday he might end up splattered all over the interstate by a careless driver. That same day, he was hit by a car while riding his Honda 1600. He died a month later, mysterious ways. I don't... Listen, my motorcycle might get lost? How do you lose a motorcycle? Casey's going to figure out how to lose a motorcycle. Who's Your Buddy says, wow, his appeal to emotions is so convincing. I guess I'm a theist. I'm going to need a refund on all super chats and membership fees over the past years. Lol. Seriously, if this wasn't a Prager video, I don't think it was an atheist doing a really bad troll. The lowest life forms have brains and a central nervous system? Pretty sure bacteria don't have either of those. I'm glad I wasn't the only one to call bullshit on that part. Command Cyborg is beginning transmission. PragerU, where reason comes to die. Number 1, I recently heard there's at least 17 possible viable developmental variants where the pre-expansion of the Big Bang doesn't come from nothing. It's also a logical contradiction to even have an absolute nothing, since there is something. True. 2, that's just chemical elements doing their thing. These guys don't seem to have a sense of scale. Just because we don't know exactly how abiogenesis did happen, nothing says a bunch of the hypotheses couldn't be true simultaneously. And we have many.
3, evolution don't care where it started. It works, mate. Number 4, no, my dude. That's just more random mutation with natural and sexual selection at play. In summary, this was 4 ways to say origins are bust, with an enormous helping of personal and borrowed incredulity. Smash all the buttons, for instance, random shill here. Hey, I don't know if you guys know this, but almost every month we have a Mafia hangout where mafiosos and up can join in, and we usually talk about shit. I talk about how our house is being built. Coming along fantastically, by the way. We have drywall and shit. It's awesome. It's looking great. The bonus room where both of our desks are going to be, where I'm going to be recording videos for the rest of the year rest of the year after the end of May. It's looking great. I've got so many plans in my head for what I want to do. It's just going to be awesome. None of this is going to, this is all going to stay the same though. I don't know. I might redo my general wallpaper or something just so that it looks a little bit different. Thank you and good night. Transmission terminated. Thank you there, Command Cyborg. Oh yeah, that is one thing that's going to be different. I'm going to have a set behind the screen. So like right now, I just have a screen back here, right? Yeah, y'all can't see where I'm pointing at. Anyways, there's a screen back here that's green. And what I'm planning on doing is building an actual set, and then I'm going to have a green screen that I can pull down from the ceiling like it's fucking magic and shit. I'm going to have a pull down thing where I can just pull it down if I want to, or if I don't, it goes back up, and fuck, I've got a set behind me, and it's just a normal YouTube video. Huh? Yes, it'll be very versatile. I'll be able to change my shit up all the time. Y'all won't know which one's coming next. All right, next, Trickster. Oh my God. I have never heard it stated like that before. I have been wrong all this time, but now I have seen the light. It's all so simple. God did it. I no longer have to seek the answers anymore. I also believe that cosmology and biology are intertwined. Now I can make the Big Bang and the beginning of life the same thing. After all, how can I argue against Aristotle? Or argue with Aristotle? Even if he was working with far less information by far than we are working with now. By the way, didn't Aristotle believe in the Greek gods? I don't think he was Christian. That's a good point. Oh, well, it's been nice knowing you all, but I changed, man. I can no longer associate with you evil heathens, because we're shitty fucking people. I must start my new life serving God. Like, subscribe, and share this with your friends and family, and if you have a few bucks burning a hole in your pocket,
this much money only secures your seat in hell.
Maybe send it G's way and become one of us in this skeptic mafia. But just so you know, the evil atheist and his wife KC will probably just give it away to charity. God, they are so evil. Thank you there, Trickster. You're awesome. Jonathan Nickel. Jonathan says, he starts by claiming he was once an atheist. Maybe he was, but saying he once thought religious people were stupid or uneducated makes me think he is trying to strawman atheists. Claim that that is our view of the religious. By saying that what convinced him otherwise was reading and failing to critique religious texts. I see that whether he was an atheist or not, he certainly wasn't a skeptic. Disprove theism? First of all, theism is a generic term for any form of God belief. So what exactly was he trying to disprove? Also, none of the God believers have yet made a strong positive case, so there was nothing to disprove. His approach is completely bass-ackwards. I'm glad somebody else uses the bass-ackwards. I don't know if you got that from me there, Jonathan, but I love bass-ackwards. 4 Big Bangs? Nope, there was only one that we are aware of. I wondered where he was going with this, but then I recall Kent Hovind talking about 7 different forms of evolution, which he tries to lump the Big Bang, core accretion theory, nebular theory, and abiogenesis in with evolution theory. This guy's doing the same thing, but calling them all Big Bangs.
All he does throughout all of this is demonstrate his misunderstanding of all the scientific fields he is trying to conflate. The Big Bang was not something from nothing. At this point, we don't have all the answers to abiogenesis, but we know how it could have happened and are still working on it. He tries to assert that we don't know how evolution accounts for the diversity of life, but he is wrong because it does. He is also wrong about being different from animals. We are just another animal species. After trying to promote his book, his whole video was one huge argument from ignorance, coupled with a few straw man definitions of what he didn't understand. He leaves it on a false dichotomy, the natural world or God. Nature doesn't have all the answers, therefore God. I believe Aaron Ra called this the first foundational falsehood of creationism. This guy hasn't convinced me that his God is real, but he has led me to question whether or not he went to school. The Ruined Warrior says, Jesus fucking Christ! This is some Kent Hovind level shit. I have 3 words for this guy. Read a book. Yeah, but I mean, at this point in time, Kent Hovind was still in jail, so... Or prison? Prison. He was still in prison. Drew's book reviews is next. Money, sex, power, nothing wrong with that. It's what we do with it that matters. As for the answer to the big question, we already have that, and it's 42. Douglas Adams explained all of this in Hitchhiker's Guide. That's right, that's a damn good book. You know, I should get that book for Xander. I agree, life from nothing makes no sense. Good thing. Good thing abiogenesis is not life from nothing. The basic chemical components were there. It did not come from nothing. Humans are animals. We just happen to be of the more intelligent breed. Animals don't do art? Wasn't there an elephant that paints? I am sure I saw something about that at one point. As for no accounting to gradual change in humanity, Yuval Noah Harari, it sounds like Ferrari, but, you know, not. Harari explains this very well in his book Sapiens as he goes over the anthropological and psychological evolution and history of humans from the early hunter-gatherer to agricultural revolution to modern era. I should really read that book in whatever spare time I have. There is so much documented evidence of gradual change, cosmologically, historically, evolutionarily, etc. I learn more stuff about this all the time, mostly via reading good books by people who know what they're talking about. Something this guy should do before making a video that at least implies isn't true, or at the very least provide some actual rebuttal to the claims, which he has not done. We are all allowed to have an opinion, but opinion is not fact. Anyway, heathens, that's all I have to say. Until next time, keep on reading. Oh, and watch GE. That's right, y'all should binge watch us here at GE. Oh, and then you guys can't see Gary at the very bottom here. Here he goes. Gary, the first one to comment, says hey, finally something that I picked is the video we are watching. Yay! Well, can't wait to watch. Hopefully I get off early to catch the beginning and see you guys tonight. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate you, man. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. I'm pulling up Jonathan Hanachek's thing right now. Oh, it's a video. Sorry, Jonathan. Oh, it looks like there's a shooting star in the video. Or is that the moon? I don't know. Anyways. Okay. For the Skeptic Mafia tonight. Awesome. Thank you there, Jonathan. So I don't have a quick way to get it up on screen, but I appreciate you, man. I'll definitely check it out here in a minute. So Uhan Roderick says, bruh. Eric Camion says, you're in front of a green screen? I thought it was a magic video wall. It's definitely a magic video wall. That's what I meant. Magic video wall. That's what it is.
Yeah, and yeah, in the new house it'll be a magic video ceiling wall that will fucking pull down. Anyways, I really appreciate everybody joining me tonight. It was really awesome seeing everybody here. Charisma of the Derp Squirrel says you need a bruh emoji now. You know what I should do? Take out some of the emojis that people don't use, and then have like 4 emojis that spell out bruh. That's what I should do. Yep, that sounds like a good idea right there. Eric Camion says you're. Oh, okay, sorry. All the chats are getting caught up. But anyways, I hope that you guys had a good time tonight. I know I did. Even though we watched this really dumbass video, it was really great to spend some time with you guys. Just responding, seeing what you guys are saying. I know KC always likes it when I shit talk people, especially on Magic the Gathering Arena. She loves it when I start talking shit. It's like, listen, don't you dare destroy my iTwitch, motherfucker. You best not take my vampire away from me, or I swear to fucking Christ, I will suck all the life out of you. Oh man, which I've actually got to get the last box that we did. I got to get that put up because we gotta redo some chairs tomorrow, the padding on them and stuff. So I'm gonna be Tim Tayloring it up tomorrow. If you want to follow along in the action, follow me on Twitter, because that's not where the transphobes lived at all. That's who's been a lot of transphobes have been finding me on Twitter because of Hemant Mehta's article, where me and KC and several other people we had made statements against Dawkins' latest bamboozle, or whatever, and so a lot of people have been finding me on there. But Cernian says chat is chat. It's something I picked up from the goddamn podcast. I haven't checked up on the goddamn podcast in a while. Grant Farmer always looks forward to seeing Bro Cephas. Oh, bruh Cephas. Bruh Cephas. That's the next character that's coming. Bruh Cephas. Sup, bruh. Jane Pusecker says, how do you feel about working mostly from home now compared to being in the office? I actually like it a lot more. I'm able to just sort of roll out of bed and put on whatever's just so happened to be laying around the house at the time. Technically I don't even need to wear clothes to go to work now. Sorry, the lawyers are in my ear saying that I need to specify that I do wear clothes. I at least wear a shirt. I'm allowed to say I at least wear a shirt. But yeah, I'm able to roll out of bed, get dressed, and then come directly to work, and it's great. Daniel says, I'm going to have to send you pictures of David's go-kart ride. That'll be awesome to see. Jonathan Hanachek's out of here.
Listen,
I'll see you later there, Jonathan.
Money only secures your seat in hell.
That's right, securing your seat in hell. But anyways, I think that's all for tonight. I don't think I'm going to be streaming tomorrow, but Sunday, 1 p.m. Central, or 2 p.m. Eastern, or do math in order to figure out Mountain and Pacific, I'm going to be on Talk Heathen. So it's 1 p.m. Central, Talk Heathen. I will be on there with V La Bianca. They asked me to, well, not V, but Talk Heathen, the show, asked me to come on, co-host with V, and I'm going to be on there co-hosting with them. So I hope that you guys will come by and check us out, maybe call in, convince some of the people that definitely argue against, the idea of evolution or the idea of atheism or anything like that. get them to call into the show, because I really love talking to people about evidence for God and proof on whether or not God, Jesus existed in history. I'd really love to actually argue with some people about that. I hear everybody saying, "Oh, you should just do your own call-in show there, GE." I should probably do that soon at some point, but in any case, I think I'm going to go play some Magic the Gathering, get my cards all situated and everything ready for tomorrow, and I guess I will see you heathens later. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.
Bye, y'all.
I don't know if y'all heard it, but Casey said bye.